Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a pregnancy video. For anybody who is pregnant right now, congratulations. Or if somebody who wants to just know anything about pregnancy, then this is going to be all about what to expect in your first trimester. I want to stop anybody right now. I want to let you guys know every woman is different. So anything that I do say, you may or may not experience it. And then I'm going to discuss some things that I experienced during my first trimester. But do not take it in as, oh my God, well, I never experienced that, so it's not right. Calm down. Every woman's different. Every woman has a different pregnancy. You need to get that through your head. First thing that we would obviously know something is wrong during our first trimester is if our period is gone. What the fuck? So the first thing that you automatically would do in your first trimester is you would not have a period, and then you would obviously be freaking out and going, oh my God, am I pregnant? Am I just a couple days late? What is going on? So yeah. The first obvious sign is you would not have a period, or you would miss your period. The next one is you would have to do the big plunge, and that would be go and get a pregnancy test to rule out if you are pregnant or not. So if you do get a test that is negative, then I would obviously discuss it with your doctor and see exactly why your period is not coming and why you have a negative result test. That's all I can say. I'm not a doctor. And the next one is, then you know your ass is on Googling every goddamn thing, going, oh my God, what is the first signs in the trimester? What to expect in your first trimester? So then you're going through that phase. Everything, you're looking everything up. You're wanting to know exactly what's going on because your girl did it. We already went through the first trimester, didn't we? Yeah, well, I went through the first trimester. You were making mommy all kinds of weird. Alright, so here are a couple things that you might experience in your first trimester. And once again, you may not experience these, and you may have entirely different symptoms than the notes that I jotted down. Okay, so you may have morning sickness. You will have tender breasts, and you could possibly have mood swings. And everything else would be changing at that point. Your body would be changing, and you would feel it. What to start in your first trimester? So if you get a pregnancy test and it comes back positive, the first thing I would do is obviously call your OBGYN and book your very first OBGYN appointment just to rule out that you are pregnant. Because that's another thing, you could get a positive pregnancy test. It's very rare, but you could get a positive pregnancy test and you might not even be pregnant. Very rare, but it can happen. Alright, so the next thing is I would start your prenatal vitamins just to make sure it can't hurt anything. All you're doing is taking a daily supplement of vitamins, and you're just nourishing your body with positive things instead of just being like, hey, I'm pregnant, we're not going to nourish it. So I would definitely go and get your prenatal vitamins. If you are somebody who doesn't want to take over the counter, then your doctor will prescribe you prenatal vitamins on your first visit. Alright, the next thing I definitely would recommend is I would definitely take the test. If you can't afford it, or hopefully your insurance, which that's another thing, is definitely start looking for an insurance. Or if you're somebody who is low income, then there is state programs that will help you pay through your pregnancy. So the next thing that I want to talk about that just got me a little sidetracked is I would definitely take the test. It is, I'll write it up on the screen when I get ready to edit this video because I cannot pronounce this shit, okay? But anyways, all it is a test to check for Down syndrome, to see if like the back of her neck is growing correctly, her nose is growing correctly, because they can be able to tell that from Down syndrome. they check for deformities, if there's any type of growth problems that they can detect. I would definitely take that test. I took that test and my insurance gladly paid for it, so I was really excited for that part. And then the last thing is I would make a budget. But let's be honest, we're never fucking ready for a baby when they pop up. But you know, if you are somebody who is well income, then hey, you probably wouldn't even have to worry about a situation like that. But if you're somebody who's middle class, you live paycheck to paycheck, I would definitely make a budget for expenses of formula, you got diapers, I'm trying to think, like you got clothes. You just have a lot of extra expenses with a baby. And also, like I said, if you're somebody who can't afford that type of stuff, there always is some type of government assistance who can help you, like WIC, food stamps. I think there is a program you can apply for, because I saw it like plastered all over my doctor's office. I think there is a little place that will help you with diapers, but you have to be like tobacco free. Every state might be different. I have no idea. Don't come at me. I'm just going by my state rules. And I think that's exactly what it was. Is you had to be like smoke free, and then they would help you with diapers if you're somebody who can't help you. So there is ways for you to get help if you're somebody who can't really afford all those things. So yeah, definitely make a budget for that. A couple other things you can do is you can eat right to help. Like my doctor was all over my ass. I blew off on her because she was really pissing me off at one point, sitting there saying like, oh my god, you can't eat this, you can't eat that, you gotta. But at that point, I was like going through my pregnancy cravings, and I wanted to fucking eat. I wanted to eat my cravings. But then I also realized like why she wanted me to do that, because, you know, I ended up with diabetes while I was pregnant. It did go away after my pregnancy, thank God. But, you know, I was causing harm not only to myself but to my daughter. So definitely keep in mind, eat right. If you're somebody who already eats right, then hey, you can still work out, but just don't do like extreme working out. Your doctor, if you are somebody who exercises, then just talk to your doctor and they'll let you know what you can do and what you cannot do. But if you are somebody who wants to like try to shed the baby fat afterwards, then definitely do like a little bit of exercising and all that great stuff. And yes, you can still have sex, but let me tell you what, once you get to that final trimester and you really start showing, it's going to be hard, difficult, uncomfortable. And it's just, yes, you still can have sex, but once you get to that third trimester and you're like a beach well and you're just like, ugh, it's very uncomfortable and pretty annoying in my opinion. The last two things is you can start sitting down with your significant other or yourself. If you're a single mother doing this all by yourself, you can sit down by yourself or your significant other or a family member and start going over baby names. That is the funnest part of the whole thing, is like, what do you want to name your kid? Especially once you find out the gender of it and all that stuff. So that's the fun part. And then the other part that you can do is plan your announcement for anybody who may or may not already know for that. And then these are things that if you are having any type of complications during your first trimester, then these are the tips that I would like to share with you guys to call your doctor immediately if you are having any issues. Alright, so if you're having any of these issues, then I would definitely call your doctor or go see your primary doctor or an OBGYN before your appointment or anything after your appointment, anything to that nature. So if you end up having heavy vaginal bleeding, definitely call your doctor because you could be miscarrying at that point. If you have severe abdominal pain, call your doctor immediately. Sudden thirst, painful urination, fevers over 101.5, and or backaches. Severe puffiness in your hands and face, and vision disturbance. Definitely call your doctor, and just be safe and sorry, if anything doesn't feel right during your pregnancy, go to a doctor. Do not be scared. I'm sure you're not the only girl who is like, your first pregnancy, you have no idea what's going on. If you feel that something's not right, go to a doctor just to make sure, because not only do you have to worry about your health, but you also have to worry about your child's health as well. Like, I remember one day I had a symptom. This was in my 3rd trimester. I was feeling extremely dizzy and very disoriented, and I was in the middle of working, and then I got extremely hot. I had to go sit down. And then everybody was like, are you having, is your sugar dropping? I know what sugar is like when it drops, and that's not what I was feeling. So I had to end up driving 40 minutes back to where I live, and came to find out, you guys, I was extremely dehydrated. I was so dehydrated that they actually couldn't even figure out how she was getting any type of supply. They checked her fluids and everything. I was so dehydrated. So anything that feels off balance, weird, go to a doctor. So just a couple things of what I went through in my first trimester, I want to share and put out there with you guys. Now, my first trimester was pretty good. I had like a couple issues here and there. The very first thing that I noticed was my pants were not fitting right. Like, I would put them on, they would still fit, but they were feeling like really tight around my waist and in between my legs, and I'm like, this is not normal. So what's going on? So that was one thing that I experienced in my first trimester. I did not have morning sickness. One other thing is I want to throw out there is morning sickness does not just occur during the morning. It can occur all day, all night. I just want to throw that out there for you. And morning sickness could last your entire pregnancy. It just depends on who you are. Every woman is different. So I did not have morning sickness, but I did have, my biggest problem was smells. Like, if I smelt, I remember we went to Arby's one day. This was way before I even took my test. We went to Arby's, and I had noticed that just the smell of the food in the car. And I told my husband, please roll the windows down so I can't smell this, because I was getting extremely nauseated, and I've never had that before happen to me. McDonald's did that to me, and then some lady's perfume did that to me. I felt like really nauseous, but I never really had any things to where I actually threw up. I did have one incident where I ate, I love greens, so I was eating collard greens, and my daughter did not like that. I almost threw up that night, but I was so sick to my stomach after eating that. So that was really my morning sickness type. It was smells. I couldn't handle smells. Certain smells would make me feel nauseated. And then the other thing was, obviously my period was gone. And I was extremely tired. Like, oh my god, I couldn't. I'd go to work, come home, take a nap, and sleep, like, throughout the whole night. So I was definitely fatiguing in my first trimester. I'm trying to think what else I really experienced in my first trimester. Oh, a lot of mood swings. Me and my husband were arguing a lot in my first trimester because my hormones were just all out of whack. And I think that was pretty much it for my first trimester. I think I had a pretty smooth sailing first trimester. And we will get to what happened in my second trimester when I film what to expect in your second trimester. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big, huge thumbs up. And as always, I upload every 3 days due to working purposes. And I'll see you soon in my next video. You're beautiful. Stay true to yourself. And don't let nobody tell you otherwise. See you guys.